Well, it's an absolutely beautiful afternoon, and we're at the man cave. We only got back yesterday. Been up to Yorkshire, across to my son Matt and his family, and he's had his first big bike. It's a 1992 600 Diversion Yamaha XJ600, and it's good. It's a great bike. It's a great bike for him to start with for his big bike, I suppose. Really, his first big bike. But yeah, I went across, and of course I wanted to have a ride on his Diversion. But also, if you remember, a couple of months ago, maybe last year, we visited Fort Paull, Napoleonic fort, or a fort from the Napoleonic times, shall we say, just down the road from where he lives. And it's been taken over by these two guys because it went under with COVID. It's been taken over by this couple of guys, and they're really going to town with it, making as much use of it as they can. And now every Tuesday night, throughout the summer anyway, it's bike night at Fort Paull. And bike nights all over the place, obviously, just lately, but this one it's really good. The atmosphere is brilliant. It's actually within the fort itself, the old fort at Fort Paull. Fort Paull, for those of you from, shall we say, west of Yorkshire, is it's about 8-9 miles east of Hull, on the Humber estuary. And it's a really interesting place to begin with, but like I say, Tuesday night, bike night, it's absolutely brilliant, and we're really well attended as well. Big selection of different bikes, but pizza sellers, alcohol-free bar, all sorts there. And it really, and it's a nice night as well. So, but it was a nice opportunity for me to have a ride on his Diversion. Matt came out with me on his little XSR 125 that my daughter-in-law is now using to learn, and it was great. It was great. Little run around one or two villages and back in, and like I say, down to Fort Paull. So that's what this one's all about, really. No idea how long it's going to be after editing, but I'm aiming to make it shorter. Okay. So yeah, see what you think. All right. Cheers. Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back. We're in sunny Yorkshire, the East Riding of Yorkshire again, and we're on board a bit of a classic. My youngest son Matt, who you will know from his from my 125 exploits on his little Yamaha, has finally been and bought himself a bigger bike. He's had a bit of guidance from quite a decent local guy who sorted him out a bike, and it's all right, I tell you. 1992 I think it is. A Yamaha 600 Diversion. And it's tidy, really is tidy. So I got Matt in front of on his 125, and we're going to a bike night. It's Tuesday today, and Tuesdays is bike night at a very special place. More of which I'll tell you when we get there. So we're taking a little bit of a scenic route, I suppose. Taking a village or two, and A little town that's lost a bit of its importance, I suppose, over the centuries. Really interesting sounding places up here though. This is Burstwick. This is the first of the villages at Burstwick. Another place that was a seat of, quite an important seat of nobility back in the day. Mentioned in the Domesday Book was Burstwick. But it's important to me these days because this place on the left here is one of the best fish and chip shops in the area here at Burstwick. I think it's called the Purple Place, I'm not sure. It's a nice little place, this Burstwick. Just here is where the railway line used to run through. A lot of these villages were slap bang, well, built on the railway line, on the line of railway, but it's a line that was taken up many, many moons ago. So that's both of them. Both my sons have got 600 Yamahas now because Nick, his older brother, he bought himself a project a few weeks ago, a 600 Yamaha phaser, which he's having some fun with in terms of engine replacements, but looks like it's coming good. He's a sneaky little devil, though. Well, little, he's 6'3" for goodness sake, is Matt. When it was obvious he was looking to buy a bigger bike, now he's got his full licence, he said, "I'm not selling me 125, Dad, I want to hang on to it, it's a bit special." So, well, just because I own more than one bike doesn't mean to say that you should, you know. He said, "No, I don't care, Dad, I'm hanging on to it, I've got a reason for it anyway." Yeah. Then I get a photograph sent through to me of him and Laura, my daughter-in-law. She's there with her helmet on and a big grin across her face, having just passed her CBT, secretly. There's a theme developing here. So yes, he wanted to keep the 125 for Laura to ride. So now they can go out to Withensea, to the bike nights at Withensea on as a couple now. Isn't that romantic? What it also means is that when we come up to visit, there's always a bike for me to get out on and borrow. And this is the other place we're coming into that I was talking about. This is Heden. When I read about it, I was surprised at the importance it had, this Heden. It's a town that was was built originally by the Normans. and it was one of the top 11 harbours in England, was Heden, even though it's nowhere near the water now. Nearest water is the Humber estuary, but there was a river that ran up to Heden, the River Heden. And I've seen one or two street names that sort of indicate that there's been some sort of navigation here, and there's a street runs off here called Haven Wharf Road. There's no wharf there anymore, but it's all silted up. Oh, Haven Basin Road. Yeah, Haven Basin Road. He wants me to go in front. Haven Basin. So across here was where the harbour was, but it's so silted up now. There's a tiny stream, which is where the navigation was. So this spits us out onto Paull Road. Which will take us into the village of Paull, which you visited with me before. It might be flat across here, but it's nice and bendy. But that's what we want, really. Try and ignore the petrochemical industry across across on the right, and the port of Hull. Having said that, in just over 3 weeks' time I'll be catching the ferry across there to Rotterdam. The storm has just passed through. Was it Boris or I can't remember the name of the storm now. Caused a bit of damage over the last 24 hours, not so much across here. Have a run through Paull itself. There's a little bypass to the left, but I prefer to come through the village itself. This would have been built as a fisherman's village, I suppose, really, and a stevedores as well for the harbour. Humber Tavern, one of our favourite watering holes when we're up here. And of course, good old Paull Lighthouse, the story which I've told many times. All the time keeping our eyes out for that nice Mr. Fillingham. This being his locality, of course. Lovely and smooth this is. It's that long since I've ridden a 4-cylinder engine. Just not used to it. Paull Parish Church. Yeah, totally missed the turning. Let's turn round in front of the church, shall we? And go to the bike night instead. Because the bike night is somewhere else that you've been with me before. It's at Fort Paull. And this is really, really good because it means that the guys who've taken over the running of Fort Paull are really, really putting it on the map. Which is really good to hear and see. Oh. What a marvellous setting for a bike night though, eh? Marvellous setting. It's so nice to turn up on a classic. 1992, it's got to be a classic, hasn't it, really? You know? I get a bit of tea as well. We'll get parked up and we'll have a walk around. Feel a bit of a fraud turning up on somebody else's bike. On the Yamaha Diversion 600. Right, see you later. So here we have the 600 Diversion. XJ600S, because it's got the fairing. It's great little bike. I remember them coming out, 92 they first came out, but they were slated as being, I suppose, boring. What you would say these days, it's a bit vanilla, but it's a nice bike. It's comfortable, it's powerful enough. It's a great bike for Matt's first big bike, I suppose you'd say, really. Nice fairing, nice wind protection, smooth 4-cylinder engine. It's about 62 brake horsepower, I think. I remember them coming out. I was out of bikes at the time, but I kept an eye on what was going on. And yeah, not exciting enough for a lot of people, but no, nice to ride. It was nice to ride. Glad he's got it. Yeah, 600 Diversion. Divvy. People ended up calling him a divvy. Never mind. Not a bad bike at all. So, bike night at Fort Paull. Well attended. Lots of different stuff here. Quite a few classics, quite a few modern bikes. Pretty much every sort of bike you could expect, or even wish for. Real mixture. And a fantastic location for it. These guys, that's a 1965, I think it's Deniper 65. It's right hand chair obviously, but yeah. What you might call a proper gold wing here. T-Reg, so that's what, 79, something like that. The FR400, grey imports they were. And there's the Diversion, the XSR 125, waters across here, all sorts, absolutely all sorts. This is James, one of Francis Barnett, been renamed as a Holzman. Well sorted, brilliant location, creates a really nice atmosphere, here at the historic Fort Paull. Like I say, these guys got their heads screwed on, they're making the most of their investment. I really hope they succeed. All sorts of different things taking place at weekends, and every Thursday is a classic car night. That's going to be worth coming to as well. Brilliant, absolutely bloody brilliant. Time for a burger, I think. So that was bike night at Fort Paull. Really nice, great atmosphere. Okay, bit of sunny weather helps, obviously. And they're still arriving. Great location. And I hope these guys who are running it now really stick at it. They deserve to succeed. Looking out over South Holderness now, over towards Hull. And Paull Parish Church. It's been nice to ride Matt's Diversion, 600 Diversion as well. XJ 600. Made a pleasant change. Nice bike. They used to be slated as being a bit too sensible, but a decent bike. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, give us a thumbs up if you like, or subscribe if you've not already done so. Over 1,200 subscribers now. Never would have thought it'd get that high, but a big thank you to those who have subscribed. Obviously, it means such a lot to me. And as usual, drop me a comment if you like. Let me know what you think. Look at these haystacks. I always think there's something artistic about the way these bales are stacked and dotted around like this. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but I think it's nice to see, it really is. I mean, I come from an area where there's no arable farming at all. They're actually straw bales, not hay. Yeah, so anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Whatever that's going to be about, who knows?